Okay, so in relation to how the Iraqi government is handling the IDPs, I think there's a real concern. I'm not an expert in relation to the IDPs, but there are growing concerns about the level of corruption in the Iraqi government. And of course, we saw the occupation of the Green Zone a couple of weeks ago by a large number of people, some of them followers of a particular cleric. But there's clearly a concern about the way the Iraqi government is behaving. And of course, the way in which large numbers of the Iraqi government lack legitimacy, have been sort of parachuted in from outside Iraq almost. There's not a lot of concern among the higher echelons. We saw that in the attempt by the Prime Minister to reorganise the government and the response in a very self-interested way by MPs. So I don't think we can say that the Iraqi government is handling this at all well. I think media coverage of the whole region is very selective. So we have a situation where we're actually involved in aerial bombardment of Iraq, but it's not covered. We're involved in a situation where we're selling huge numbers of armaments, for example, to Saudi Arabia to bomb Yemen, and it's not covered. But instead, we're covering the Syrian conflict. In fact, the level of the catastrophe in Yemen is on a scale of Syria, but it's not covered. And so clearly there's an agenda by news organisations, and perhaps by the government, to portray some conflicts as good versus bad, and other conflicts are just too complicated to properly convey in the British media. So a situation where we're both bombing and trying to express concern about IDPs is not a very realistic one to portray, and I don't think the British government or the West in general is doing very much on this. I think there's a great deal that can be done. If you turn the clock back to 2003 and look at the huge sums of money that were originally being earmarked to be spent in humanitarian aid in Iraq, leaving aside the military conflict, most of that money has not actually gone to where it needed to go. Additionally, it's now a decade since some of us set up an organisation called Justice for Iraq, where we laid down the minimum conditions that needed to be met for justice to be given to Iraq, including reparations, prosecution of the war criminals involved. This has not happened, and it seems the British government and the West have turned their back on the situation of IDPs and have no further interest. They're hoping it will go away. It clearly won't.